What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of The Long Dark. So from here on in, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this series. I've actually been leaning towards kind of just making it a one-off series. It only happens every now and again. It's probably not going to be daily, just because there's going to be other stuff to cover in the next coming weeks. And this series has been going for a while. I still enjoy it. We're going to see some new stuff, so it's not like dying or like going anywhere. It's just going to be a little bit less frequent. And so I felt like that was the best way where I personally could do content for this game while still covering content for other games at the same time. Don't know what the scheduling is going to look like exactly just yet. Wow, it is really kind of dark in here, isn't it? Alright, well, since we don't have a lot of time right now, if you recall, in the previous episodes, we were hanging out. I hear wolves and things. That makes me sad. Alright, in the previous episodes, we had been hanging... Oh, let's bust open this trunk real fast. There might be some food or something inside of it, which we actually need. We got some cloth, we got a heavy wool sweater, and that's it. Much like me, they're packing their entire wardrobe into their trunk. I like to be prepared. I keep, like, parkas in the trunk. I got all kinds of stuff in the trunk. All kinds of junk in the trunk, and that's why the ladies are feeling it. Let me snap off this branch real fast. We're definitely going to need some stuff for sticks and twigs and things of that nature in just a minute. Oh, man, it's getting dark with a quickness, ain't it? Alright, back down into the cellar. I don't think we're going to be able to maintain this long term. If you recall, in the previous episodes, we've been hanging out for a little while and trying to make our way to Desolation Point, which I think is going to be our next stop. I left all of our stuff at our previous location. We're basically setting out with the bare basics right now. We're going to see what we can find out there. If we have to come back in order to survive, we totally will. But for the moment, I feel like the best thing that I can do for the series is press on towards new content, since it's been a little bit stale lately. We've been hanging out in one map, just kind of looking around for probably 10-15 episodes now, and I think it'll help out a little bit if we start to head out into new adventures, and so that's exactly what I've decided to do. Now, our food is not so good. We aren't, like, super squared away on food right now. We've got about a day and a half's worth of food. I forgot to pick up those sticks outside, too. Okay, I'll deal with that in a little bit. We should have plenty of water. I don't think we're going to have to refuel on water or anything like that for the next 2 to 3 days. And that should be more than enough time to get our shit in check and make sure that as we travel in between locations, we're able to make it to Desolation Point and find a place to camp out there without, you know, getting bogged down in the middle of a blizzard or anything like that, which I am a tiny bit concerned about. I mean, there is stuff that needs to be taken care of here, and there are things that can go wrong. I don't want to sound sensationalist or anything like that, but it's always a risk in this game whenever you have to travel anywhere. If you've got to move from one map to the next, or if you got I got to ditch some of this clothing too. I think I have that sweater with me. I'm going to drop that right now, and then I've got that sweater that's really not helping me that much, so I'm going to drop that over there. We are a little bit hungry. I should be able to scavenge some wood along the way. Inside the mines, there's always a shit ton of wood, so that should be perfectly fine. I would go against, don't light fires in caves. It can cause the wood to expand, and, or I'm sorry, it can cause the stone, the walls of the cave to expand and contract and do all kinds of weird shit. And it can definitely get you into some trouble with, you know, random rock slides and things of that nature. Usually a bad plan, but in this game you don't really have to worry about it, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pick up some sticks along the way too, just in case. Get a little bit of kindling going. Our fire starting skills are really, really good right now. I think we're up into like the mid-60s, early 70s with it. And so we're lighting fires like a pro at this point. We should be able to do it outdoors fairly soon, or unfairly soon. I don't like to play by the rules if it means that I'm going to lose and have like long-term deficits. Forget the rules then. Forget the rules if it means it's going to have long-term negative effects on my life. We'll just, I don't know, spit on the ball a little bit. We'll rub it down slightly. Give it a little rub down. Sometimes you got to give a ball a rub down. Got the stick right there. That should be fine. I'm going to try and pick up as many of these as I can while I'm in the neighborhood. The sticks do weigh a weird amount in this game. I don't know how huge they are, but they must be very, very... Yeah, it was just the rabbit moving around. I thought I heard the sound of wolfy foots, or feets if you really wanted to pluralize properly, but nope, I just woke up. My brain is super addled at the moment, as you can tell. I'm just like, ugh. I took time, I ate my breakfast, I had my toast, and then I had my orange juice because I never have orange juice around the house because I drink too much of it. Anytime I have orange juice, it's just a recipe for despair and misery because I'm going to drink the entire bottle in like one day. There's some wood right there. Perfect. Grab ourselves a little bit of wood on this side. I don't think there's anything back here, though. That reclaimed wood is going to make us able to, once we get inside the mine, we're going to light up a fire. We're going to cook up our dinner for the next day or two, just to keep ourselves nice and full of the victuals. All of our stuff is left at our base right now. I don't mind that at all. Not a big deal to me. Most of it was kind of holdout stuff anyways. We'll probably be back before too long. I just wanted to see what was in Desolation Point and see what I could work with over there before I came on back. I heard there was like a forge. I heard there's a bunch of random stuff over there. And since it's a map that we've never seen in a Nerd Castle playthrough, I felt like it was important to go over there and just have a good look around. It's minus 3 degrees right now. At least that's our perception of the world. It's not actually minus 3. It's minus 21 at the moment, but we've got plus 18's worth of clothing on. So we're feeling pretty warm. I think I can swing up and around this way. Let's go ahead and duck through here. We're going to get to the cave mouth. That's not going to do it. It's going in the wrong direction. Never mind. Apparently my navigational skills have gotten quite a bit worse after a week of not playing. And I expect that to really get worse and worse and worse as time goes along. But as I said, this is going to be the first episode in which I'm kind of thinking about going into sort of a one-off series. Every 2 to 3 days we'll update this one while working on other stuff. I was thinking about turning Mordheim into a permanent series. It was going to be like on Fridays or something like that. Once people get tired of it, they'll still get like one big like 2-hour Mordheim video a week where we mess around and play with the warband. But aside from that, you know, it's kind of time to move on. I feel like we've been stale lately at the Nerd Castle. Like, things have not been shaken up enough. We got a lot of series that are at like 40 episodes right now, which is usually kind of worrying for me. I haven't looted like anything in here, I don't think, for the most part, so we should probably stay on that. What tools did I bring with me? I got an axe, I got a knife. Okay, I brought the stuff that I needed. I was a little bit worried that I didn't bring basic tools, but let's get a fire started. Actually, we'll start the fire on the opposite end. That wasn't really what I wanted either. Lantern's all nice and fueled up. Couldn't ask for anything better. I don't remember exactly the direction we had to go in order to get to Desolation Point, but I know we had to crawl through here. And I think we stayed left, if I remember correctly, which I may not be. That is the fact of the matter. Being Splattercat, I don't necessarily facilitate information very, very well inside of my head noodle. And so occasionally I just remember the wrong thing. We have some coal in case we have to camp long term. Or at least pick it up and centralize it somewhere else. As long as this keeps diving down below, we should be good. I had it all mapped out in my head, but sort of lost track of it now. Got a bunch of stuff in here. Antiseptic. I'd kind of like to look around for maybe some candy bars. Vittles. Things I can eat. There's a whole bunch of coal inside of there. This drawer will probably... Hey, granola bar. Exactly what I was looking for. Something to top off the old tank. We'll eat that right now. Almost rotten, so we might as well eat it before it goes bad anyways. Couple of coal on us. We're not that badly overweight. So I'll probably bring that. There's our old flare, which is indicative of the fact that we've been through here before. Since my memory is no longer serving me. It's decided it wants to be the boss now. It is no longer going to serve the Splattercat. I'm going to search the bodies for anything we can eat too. May have dog food or something else on here. Or wood matches, even better. I didn't bring that many matches with me, and I was just thinking about that while I was talking with all of you. Just thinking about the fact that I don't really have that many matches with me right now. So if our lantern runs out, I am concerned that we'll be running off matchlight for a bit. There's a bear in here as well. It's somewhere off to the right, though. I haven't gone through the entire cavern yet, but there's 100% a bear in here. I heard him the other day. He went, whoa. When I was walking back after the last episode, I was coming back through the cave. There's definitely a bear in here. Where he's at, I don't know, and I don't really want to find out. Not intensely interested in that particular adventure, but he's definitely in here somewhere. Yeah, it looks like the goal was to stick to the left. I know there's a barricade back over here, but I think there's another dead guy or something. Oh, no, there's no dead guy. Damn it, I wanted to see a dead body. We were going to have a stand-by-me type afternoon. Well, never mind then. I woke up so late today. It was accidental. I didn't mean to, but I was feeling really, really... I had like this weird thing going on with my stomach, and I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to sleep this off, and I'm just going to hope that it doesn't get worse. And luckily, I was able to sleep it off. Let's go see how the weather is here. One of those days where you wake up, and you just don't feel good, and you think it might turn into something else. So you're like, maybe I should take it a little bit slow. And so I did. I crashed. I've been taking my emergency, drinking lots of orange juice. Hopefully it fixes it on up, so I don't gotta worry about it no more. I already been sick this year, universe. I already been sick. Well, there's a lighthouse over there. Let's be on our way, shall we? This time we've actually got clear weather. The last time we were on this map, the weather was Ooh, how do we get... Okay, I was going to say, that sheer drop right there is not looking... It's not looking friendly. It's not looking friendly. I would prefer not to isolate myself from my only path of retreat. It does look like this is going to be an uninhabited zone, though. There's no roads or anything that I've seen so far. Could be wrong. Obviously, we're not that far in yet, but... Kind of cool. I like how they got the rocky outcroppings out here. Walk underneath these giant mountains of stone, overlooking your adventures like great colossal leviathans, lazily basking in the sunlight. I was trying to put my poet's hat on for a minute. I'm not so good at it though. I fancied being a writer for a while, but I don't know, my family had other thoughts about that one. Apparently that was not a job that was suited for... I'm not sure. All I know is that they definitely weren't down with the writer idea. Didn't bail out on it because of that. But it definitely was the little push that got me started thinking about whether I really wanted to do it or not. There's a road down there. Might be a wise idea to regroup with that so that we can keep ourselves somewhat oriented. Might be wise to harvest some wood while we're out here too, before it gets too dark. My concern with that... Well, actually, we've got enough wood to actually make a fire next to another spot if we need to. Pick up some of these sticks. Not going to waste any time breaking that down. Instead, let's check this truck. Is that blood on the truck? Or is that like rust? God, I hope it's rust. I've yet to really find anything... Hey, we got a grape soda. That'll work. Nothing behind the visors. That's cool. We can cross over the seat and jump out the other door. I never knew about that. There is a wood harvest node right here if you wanted to get some cedar. It won't burn long term like fir wood, but it will burn enough to get you started, and it gives you a fat bonus to starting a fire. So I'm trying to memorize the location right now. We walk past this little... It looks like there might have been some kind of drainage ditch over here or something. Some kind of canal. Or maybe it's just, I don't know, they line the fences. This right here, you see this all the time where I live, but it's always over canals and things. And so they'll have like the little overpass thing, they'll have a bunch of barbed wire around it, and they'll have a bunch of warnings to like not swim down in there. Because I guess it's deeper than it looks. I don't think I've ever swam in one of the canals. The public pool when I was growing up, it was like a block from my house, so we would just walk to the public pool and go there if we wanted to go swimming. How many hours of daylight? Oh, we got plenty of hours of daylight left. I was a little bit worried. We're actually, at this rate, we're going to run out of strength before we run out of anything else. I picked up that soda. Let's go ahead and throw that on back, too. Some of our parameters are looking less than satisfactory. That'll help out a little bit with some of the stats. But I'd like to have a look at the area. I don't want to be one of those guys that just sticks to the main road and doesn't find anything interesting along the way. Yeah, I wanted to be a trash fantasy writer for a while. Like throwaway books, like Dragonlance, stuff like that, where it's not inherently like super intellectual writing. It's a great way to kill a Saturday afternoon, though. I don't know. I spent a lot of my time... Oh, hey now. Well, one thing at a time. Let me not get ahead of myself. One thing at a time. So is this another cave over here? It's another mine. Okay. Let's leave that one. I don't feel like doing any more spelunking right now. I'm not going to be trying to do any cave diving. We spent a lot of time in caves the last couple episodes, and so I'm going to stay away from that for right now. We'll go back over there. I am intensely interested in this big old building over here, though. Looks like it might be a church. An old-style church, kind of like that Puritan-style church where they got the fence around it. It's got like the A-frame building. It doesn't look like it's actually going to be inhabitable. Yeah, it looks like it's just an old structure. It's made out of stone, though. If you had the time, you could fix it up and it'd be a great place. Stone buildings hold warmth fantastically once you get them warmed up. That's the secret. It takes a bit to get them going, but... Well, it might work as shelter. It's possible. This guy appears to have died giving the old correspondence to the Almighty. Let's go ahead and search him real fast for anything edible. There we go. Perfect. You had exactly the sort of stuff that I was looking for. Since it's called Desolation Point, I'm thinking that we might not be able to hunt out here either. So I'm going to do my best just to live off of the things we find for right now. There's another 350. Between that and the soda, Foraging should put us pretty much up to like 2,000 calories, which will hold us till tomorrow. And that also gets our other meters filled up as well. We got a removed hat over here. We got some first aid. Oh, it's a first aid. I thought it was quality tools for a minute. It's a first aid kit. I'll take it, even though I don't really need it. Hey, there's an energy bar in there, too. Okay. 500 calories out of that. Bam. Now we're ready to explore a bit. We've got a gun. We've got some peanut butter over on this side. We've got a fire barrel. We got some accelerant, which 100% I think I'll take. I'm going to keep the bullets for right now in case I don't come back. I don't know what quality level this gun is at. It's at 30%. I'll bring the peanut butter with me too. Perfect. We just got to find shelter. I'm thinking the lighthouse is our huckleberry here. I'm going to try real hard not to break my ankles while I work my way down this cliff. And I think that's going to be the spot. Ah, there is hunting over here. See, I was worried about it. Looks like he's a little skittish, though. He's not a friendly dog. He doesn't want to commune over my flesh. Had a vaguely sexual sound to it that I don't feel okay about. Break this trunk. Maybe he was burglarizing this car, and then in my attempts to burglarize the car, I stumbled in on it. He was like, ah, it's the police! And then he took off running. You never know, he could be a hood wolf. I don't really see anything. Can't loot the glove compartment from the back seat, so I'll try and get in here. Antibiotics. Yeah, we basically have everything we need to survive on this map now. All the medication and whatnot we could ever need. What the hell was that noise? There he is. I got you. I'm gonna leave it alone for right now. There's no need to kill him just yet. He'll be around. They don't go anywhere. I'm sure we'll be able to find him in the near future. Seen a lot of crows up there, so I'm assuming there's a couple of dead bodies off that way. I'm gonna head towards the lighthouse though first. Gotta find a location where we can actually set up a camp and maybe, you know, crash out on a floor. Get some warmth up and running. And I'd prefer to be indoors. Worst case scenarios, we'll use the church to survive. It looks like it raises the temperature by, well, maybe not. It's going to be rough going if we stay in the church because we're going to need to light a fire all night every day. And I know how dumb that sounded. I thought of it as I said it, but anyways, we're going to have to light a fire every night to keep ourselves warm if it starts to storm or get too nasty. That looks like the kind of location that we might be able to get up to right there. They don't normally, I've noticed one thing about the way that they design their terrain in this game. They don't tend to put trees in isolated areas. So for example, you come up on that mountain, you see how empty it is? All along those ridge lines. Like, there's a couple of trees, but it's kind of like guilty trees. They don't put trees when they design their maps in places you can't get to. And that right there, it looks like there might be a little bowl or something that loops around right there. And there's trees in the center of it. I doubt that those trees would be in the center unless there's something over there. We'll have to figure out a path to get over to, you know, that little cupcake mountain or whatever the hell you want to call it. But at the same time, I've never seen this map before, so I'd like to explore everything. This is my first foray into Desolation Point. Very, very interesting little map. I love lighthouses. You don't see them. We don't have lighthouses around here. They tore them all down. Nowadays, I'm not really sure how they do the whole lighthouse business, but it sure ain't with lighthouses, I can tell you that much for sure. I assume that maybe there's some for ships. I don't know how they signal that the shore is... I assume you just watch the coastline or something? I don't know. Cultures are a lot more brightly adorned nowadays than they used to be, so maybe ships can just see the shore by all the cities and whatnot. I mean, here in Northern California, all along the coastline, there's pretty much non-stop city. We've got granola bars. He's got himself a bulletin board over here. This job would be the shit, just hanging out in a lighthouse. I'd be down. I'd be totally down. A thin wool sweater. I like how the drawers are built recessed into the walls. One of the things about getting old is that you start to like things like furniture. Like, I used to not care at all. Like, I would just get my furniture, like, out of a dumpster next to the road and just be like, cool. Oh, look at that. There's a cabinet. It's got a ski jacket in it. Got a potbelly stove, which is good enough for me. I may actually just use matchlight while we're in here. It's not that dark. We just need like a little bit. There's another ski jacket right there. The reason why I'm so excited about said ski jacket is because it's going to give me some basic materials with which to make my life a little bit easier should our clothes start to get run down a bit. Well, we've got a place. So let's go ahead and offload our gear real fast because we got plenty of time to explore. We've got about 10 hours left in the day. I'm going to drop that right there. We're going to drop that right there. I'll probably try and stash up all the food up on this level. I like to make myself these little cubbies and whatnot. It does mean that the food starts to dissipate all by its lonesome, which sucks. Like, it's not fun that your food degrades. I think that if you're inside a building, if you lay the food out, it shouldn't degrade. I don't know. Or if you put it in a cabinet or something, it shouldn't degrade. Maybe it does if you put it in the cabinets. I never really paid too much attention to it, but either way, the food degradation thing makes it difficult to explore. Like, you don't want to leave things behind because you're not properly using them all. Let's drop that right there. Should probably lay out all the furs and hides and random stuff that I have so that we can repair our other gear should the need arise. Looking pretty good on tinder plugs and other sundries. Get another match out here. I don't know how expansive this zone is going to get. I'm hoping, I bet we can cook stuff in a potbelly stove, but do you cook on, I don't think there's a grill or anything installed on that thing. Let's go ahead and lay this stuff out so that it starts to cure. Perfect. So in 5 days that should be ready to go. I'm just going to leave all the stuff over here that is weighing me down and potentially needs repair. Got a whole bunch of sticks in there. I'll probably get rid of that. I forgot we got the fire striker now too. We don't even need the matches anymore. That's got durability, but it takes up less space, so it's nicer to have around. 2 full boxes of matches. Got the food on us. We don't really need it right now. I'll probably lay it out down by... Actually, I'll put it in one of the cabinets over here. The only thing that's a bit of a downer on this side is that there's not a lot of storage space compared to the little hangar that we normally hang out in. But this place is quaint. I do like it. I'll probably just pile everything in here. We don't really need the antiseptic ever since I got the old man's beard bandages. Axes and everything else hanging out. Probably keep the pry bar since we're going to be doing some adventuring. Still carrying around pretty large quantities of water as well. I don't know quantitatively how good our water is. But qualitatively, we've got a lot of it. That gets us down to 26, so that we're not overweight on BS anymore. I'll probably drink water right now just so that I don't forget and see that lovely little red droplet at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen later on, causing me a little bit of heartache. And that seems to be just about everything that we could drop off here. Could have probably contemplated bringing along a better sewing kit. But I guess you bring along what you bring along. And actually, I'm just going to ditch that right. Probably should put it inside the first aid kit since we have one. Let's go back outside. We'll take a look around the periphery of the place, see if there's anything interesting to be had. We didn't go around the back, so it might be worth a look. It's a busted ship over there. It looks like this zone actually runs pretty far off in that direction. We've got running water as well, which comes from inland, which is really, really cool. Be careful, though. Be careful. You don't want to drink from any water without exploring its source first. There could be like a dead sheep in it or something. Like a dead wolf. Dead animals tend to fall in water all the time. They're not well. And then they go down to the water to try and slake their thirst, especially because animals get thirsty when they're about to die. It's part of the problem. A lot of animals die from kidney failure and things of that nature. That tends to be a really, really common animal affliction. That tends to be the first step on the way that they go, especially if they're carnivores, because their kidneys process so many toxins and things from the meat that they eat. So when your kidneys are failing, you get stupidly thirsty because your body feels like it needs more water to flush things through the kidneys properly because the kidneys aren't working so great. So animals will go down to the water having kidney failure, whatever else it is that they're going through, and they tend to just kind of collapse once they get down by the water and die in it. It's also hunting grounds. Things tend to get hunted around the watering hole, so you want to check for bodies. You don't want to end up getting all kinds of giardia or anything else. In modern society, it wouldn't be that bad, but when you're surviving all by your lonesome, catching something like giardia or getting some kind of intestinal parasite or anything else could be a major short-term survival issue. Like, it could kill you. You could definitely wind up dead, so I'd be careful about drinking from unverified, unboiled sources. If you don't have the option, well, go for it, you know. But if you do have the option, you should probably try and boil it off first. In addition, drinking hot liquids when it's cold at night help you store heat a little bit better, raise your core temperature, and make it a little bit easier to survive. Let me guess, there's a dead guy down there in the water. I don't think that I can get back down. Well, actually, I think that's good enough. I'm going to check that ship over there in the next episode. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcastle for the next episode of The Long Dark. This is Desolation Point. I will see you all in future episodes. Hi-do, everybody.